Alright, we're at McKinney Homestead. We know that because this sign says so. If it weren't for this sign, we'd have almost no clue. It says here, these corner blocks mark the site of a homestead locally called the McKinney Flatwoods. The one-story L-shaped house with a cedar shake roof was occupied by John W. McKinney and family from 16 to 45. They raised and grew and sold the homestead in 1945. I've been around this, I won't say all over, but I've been through this area. These are the only things that I can see that can be remotely called blocks, but they're movable. So we don't know if somebody moved them here or there. I found 3 of them. And again, they're all movable, so I don't know if they were part of the homestead. Somebody came on here and dumped them. I'm not going to go through the trouble of doing it, but I'd like to see what was under these brush piles. Could be something somebody's trying to hide and or preserve. It's interesting on public land that you would find these brush piles. That's just not typical. What is kind of interesting is that we find these bricks over here, and these probably are from the homestead. These are probably something to do with the chimney, because the thing was all wooden, you know, as we see in all these old homesteads. These, I'm gonna say old, they're older, they're 100 years old. They're not, you know, they don't go back to the time when people used mud for chimneys. So, or even in some cases they used wood for chimneys, and they would keep them tilted outward so that if the chimney caught fire, they could just pull the plug on the thing, and it would all topple outwards. It wouldn't burn the house down. But we haven't seen any of that in Florida, because most of what we see down here in this part of Florida is all brick. They just, you know, and plus you have no mud in Florida. I mean, sand, and maybe up in Panhandle or something, or close to the border, but not down here. The only thing we got down here is sand. So this would have been it. This would have been the site. We don't know anything about, you know, exact location of the house or any kind of foundation left or anything like that. But obviously, this would have been a seriously, incredibly cool place to wake up and start your day every day, and come out here and work your animals and grow your food and raise your family. For the most part, at peace with the world. Very little government intrusion, very little societal intrusion. Inverness would have been the closest town here. I mean, this town was called Oxford, but it was one of those burgs. So the closest Walmart would have been in Inverness, and they would have had to go over there to get to it. In Camper World and all that. But you know, worth coming out here no matter what. I mean, it's a very cool place. Somebody obviously is taking the time to at least preserve a sign that says that this is where this was, and this is where these people live their lives. So even though we can't see much of the actual dwelling, the actual structure, we do see a good deal of, well, we see all of what, you know, they would have seen. I mean, they would have opened their eyes and they would have seen the wonderfulness of nature, the wonderment of nature. So that being done, we're not going to go any further down that way. We've got 2 cemeteries to see and about 2.5 hours to do it in. So again, that's McKinney Flatwoods, Half Moon Wildlife Management Area. I can say that fast 4 times in a row. And the Explorer is out.